What is good, everyone? We got top 10 scary islands no one wants to buy by most amazing top 10s. Sorry about that. Stuff is falling. They don't want to cooperate. Don't they know I'm filming? Well, anyways. Well, if you could buy your own island, would you? I think it would be pretty cool. I mean, let's see what they have to say about these top 10 scary islands. Just check it out.
I think it would be quite cool owning your own private island.
Same. I feel like my tolerance for people is already so low right now. I just want to get shipped off to my own island, live my best life with only positive vibes and my cat. Although I'm not a huge fan of the ocean, so leaving would be quite the issue. But I mean, I'm sure the locals of the island will either help me or eat me in a cannibalistic ritual, which again I probably asked for, to be honest.
You think that there's only like barbaric people living on islands?
No, but like the one I'm thinking of is just very far away from civilization, you know what I mean?
Oh, gotcha. Well, that'd be a good thing. Maybe there's like no laws, you can do whatever you want.
Literally. I'm just gonna be sitting on a hammock and just reading my book with little cat.
Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm your host, Lindsay Ivan.
I'm your host, Eamon Hassan. Make sure to check out our scary playlist right over here if you wanna just binge watch some scary videos.
Yeah, and today we're bringing you top 10 scary islands no one wants to buy.
Starting us off at number 10 is Gaiola Island. As one of Naples' minor islands, Gaiola is actually super close to Italy's coast to the point you can actually swim there in a few strokes. You just do some front crawl, how convenient. Anyway, by the turn of the 20th century, the island was considered cursed and for good reason. Let's rewind. In the 1920s, the island belonged to Hans Braun, who was
I would not buy that island. It doesn't look big. Why would I want to buy it? And people can swim to it? Nope. I want nobody swimming to my island. No.
Josie found dead wrapped in a rug. No idea how he died, who wrapped him up, nothing. A little while later, his wife ended up drowning at sea, so far the score is Island 2, Human 0. Then we move on to the next owner, Otto Grunbach, who ended up having a heart attack while staying in the villa on the island. The next owner, Maurice Yves Santos, later committed suicide in a mental institute. What are we at now? 4-0? After her then came Carl Paul Langheim, who went bankrupt soon after the purchase. The next owner suffered many deaths in his family after he bought the island, and the next owner got it the worst.
Well, it seems like you buy the island, you're gonna die. So, no, I'm not gonna buy no island that is cursed, and I'm gonna die. If legend is true. So, a big NO.
J. Paul Getty's youngest son died, his oldest son then committed suicide, and his grandson got kidnapped. Like, so many things went wrong for him. I feel so bad for him. Now, the last owner of the island ended up in jail, and the couple who owned the villa opposite the island were found murdered. I fully believe this island is cursed. It seems pretty damn evident. I don't need to buy that with the money I don't have.
In our ninth spot, we have Getter's Island. Situated in the Delaware River is an island known as Getter's Island. I mean, it's not the fanciest island out there, but if you want a little getaway, this place will do. Except there's just one teensy little flaw to it. It's haunted. So the island was actually named after Charles Getter, a man who was hung on the island after murdering his wife. But the hanging didn't quite go as planned. On the first attempt, the rope snapped and Getter fell to the floor. He was then waiting around for 20 minutes until they got a new rope. He died the next time around. Now it's said that his ghost haunts the island and is blamed for any tragedy that occurs on or near the island. In fact, 30 years later, a steamboat's boiler malfunctioned near the island's banks. It exploded and killed the 12 passengers on board. But if you can get past the island's haunted past, then feel free.
I would buy it, because that doesn't seem too barbaric or scary. But the reason I won't buy it, because if I own an island, I want no one coming to it. They can come there. Well, at least you can grocery shop. There's a town over there. That's a plus. But no.
To scoop this place up.
At number 8, we have Pagiglia Island. This island is located near the entrance of Manila Bay in the Philippines. And I know what you're thinking, who wouldn't want to live on an island in the tropical east? Me. Well, due to its location, the island had always had coastal artillery on it to defend Manila from enemy warships. During World War II, the island played a huge role in freeing the Philippines from Japanese forces. In 1942, Japanese forces took over the island where they starved and tortured over 3,000 Filipinos and Americans. The island was ambushed again at the end of the war, and by 1945, the Americans wanted to recapture the island. They were like, oh hell no. That recapture resulted in nearly 7,000 Japanese soldiers dying and 1,000 deaths on the American Filipino side. When this happened, it said that 3,000 Japanese soldiers chose suicide over being captured by the enemy, so they sealed themselves in tunnels and caves and waited to just die in there. It was one of the biggest mass suicides that had ever taken place, and just imagine there's been more blood flowing through the gutters of this island than water. That has to lower the market price of the island, surely. You know what I mean? Nope.
I want her. That marketplace is low. All that blood cursed on that dirt. And, ooh. Wow, a lot of suicides. I mean, the island's remote. If you can get past it, all the hauntings and whatever else is there, go for it.
No buying this.
Making our way down the list at number 7, we have the Island of Dolls, aka...
Okay. Again, we covered this yesterday. That is a no. They can keep that island. I mean, what the guy did for the little girl was nice, but a big N-O.
The island I never want to visit. And if you are creeped out by dolls just like me, I suggest you stay far away from this island as well. Located in Mexico City, the Island of Dolls is full of dolls hanging from trees and buildings. If that's not bad enough, these dolls have been there for so long that they're covered in dirt and cobwebs and insects. That just makes them look that much more terrifying. Oh, but it gets worse. Apparently, the island is also haunted. The dolls were hung all over the island to try to scare the souls of the deceased that haunt the island. One man spent more than 50 years hanging all of these dolls up. Some of these dolls were dirty or missing limbs after being pulled out from the trash. But that didn't matter to him. Just makes it creepier for visitors. Now, this island is abandoned and looks something straight out of a horror movie. The only residents on the island now are the dolls and the ghosts.
Now, at number 6 is Norfolk Island. Nestled between New Zealand and Australia, the island was first home to East Polynesians, but they were long gone when the British got to it in 1788. After that point, the island was a convict penal settlement. Since it was so remote, the British used it to house their most violent criminals, and many dubbed it as hell on earth. Why, you may be asking? Because since the early 1800s, the amount of rape, torture, and murder that's taken place on the island is endless because of the thousands and thousands of criminals that lived there. Forget the criminals, even the guards were vicious. The island is actually the 4th most haunted island in the world, and with everything that's happened there, are any of you really surprised? So if you want to buy an island that's been nicknamed Hell on Earth, be my guest, but I will not be visiting.
If you want to go to hell, there you go.
No staycation for me.
We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with Pagiglia Island. With bright blue waters and a gondola ride away from Venice, who wouldn't want to own the...
Man, it seems like we go with the Island of Dolls and this island a lot. My God. We go... I would not buy that island, though. No. But it seems like they cover these islands a lot.
This island. Answer is, a lot of people. The island has a very, very dark past. During the Middle Ages, when the plague took the lives of thousands, this island was used as a dumping ground for the bodies. Then in the 1920s, this island had a mental institution, but the hospital workers were corrupt and often conducted experiments on the patients. Then over the years, the island has been bought and sold 3 times. The first two owners sold the island after witnessing some paranormal activity. It's said that the souls of the deceased haunt the island. In fact, to this day, this island is known as one of the most haunted places on Earth.
I can agree with that.
And number 4 is Daxa. So this abandoned southern Croatian island is only 0.07 kilometers squared large and has a Franciscan monastery built on top of it. It's cute enough, but one catastrophically tragic event occurred there that repelled even the most keen buyers. Back in 1944, 53 men who were accused of collaboration by the Yugoslav partisans were all executed on the island. A week prior, the partisans had entered the capital, Dubrovnik, and arrested 300 people. All 53 were killed without any trial whatsoever. 18 of the bodies had been identified via DNA, but the other 35 had not. Then in 2010, the remains were reinterred and it was found out that Dubrovnik's mayor, Niko Koprivica, correct me if I'm wrong, Croatians, was among the victims of the massacre. I will not be buying any island that a massacre took place on of innocent people who deserved at least a trial, but I guess that's World War II for you. We have war criminals just fleeing to Argentina and just innocent Croatians just getting killed for no reason.
In our third spot, we have Motu Matataki. Being one of the many islands in French Polynesia, the Motu Matataki looks like a tropical paradise. You have white sandy beaches, bright blue waters, tons of vegetation, and a slight radiation problem. Yeah, you heard me.
Okay, you just gotta say radiation, and I'm not going. That's a nope.
1960 to 1996, France conducted 193 nuclear tests in the South Pacific. They claimed that the explosions were contained, but that was not the case. There is still radiation in that area. In fact, tons of residents throughout the area have developed thyroid cancers and leukemia. It's thought that this is due to radiation still being present. If that doesn't deter you, then maybe the cyclones, storms, landslides, and tsunamis that also threaten the area will.
Now, number 2 is Okinawashima Island. Located 3 kilometers away from the coast of Japan, you can get to Okinawashima Island by ferry. And it's a nice island, don't get me wrong, it's very gram-worthy for sure. There are walking trails for tourists, campsites, historical sites, and it's not just an overgrown jungle. Now, there are many reasons why people refuse to live on the island. For one, the island was used during the Russo-Japanese War, where it was chosen as a place to start developing chemical weapons. Construction, development, and storage were all kept a secret, so residents and workers weren't even told what the plant was making, despite many of them suffering from toxic exposure-related illnesses. Like, how do you not tell the locals who are directly negatively suffering from what you're...
You'd think you would tell them what's going on. I ain't buying it. No, I mean, why? So, I gotta deal with all that toxicity? No. No.
Doing what you're doing. The place used to produce over 6 kilotons of tear gas and mustard gas, which is insanity, you guys. Thankfully, the island was far enough away from Tokyo that it didn't really pose a threat to those citizens, but that doesn't mean people didn't get hurt. Now, post-war, everything was burned or destroyed, and everyone was told to not say anything about it. It was kind of like a sweep it under the rug situation. Nowadays, nobody lives on the island unless you count the fact that it's overrun with rabbits who aren't even native to that part of the world. Rabbit Island, as some people call it, has so many rabbits because they all descended from the first ones let loose on the island when they tried to turn it into a park after the war. They also use the rabbits to test the chemical weapons on, but the ones on the island now are not related to the mutated ones. I don't know how they figured that out, but they did.
And in our number 1 spot, we have Snake Island. About 25 miles off the coast of Brazil.
If I buy that island, Snake Island, it will no longer be called Snake Island. Because I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm setting that whole motherfucker on fire.
There is an island no one
I guarantee you those snakes will be swimming away.
dares to step foot on. I mean, it's a beautiful island, but it's infested with deadly snakes. In fact, this island is so dangerous that the Brazilian government has banned anyone from ever going there. This island is apparently home to around 4,000 snakes, most of them being golden lancehead vipers, aka...
Okay, I know we didn't... Oh, look at that thing. That's a thing of horror. Yeah, we saw this Snake Island in a few videos. But I do remember Discovery had a channel a couple years ago. Apparently, there's some kind of treasure map on the island. So, and they survived the snakes because they brought a snake expert. But I tell you one thing, they slept with one eye open, they sure the hell did.
One of the deadliest serpents in the world. It's said that this type of viper can grow up to be 18 inches long. And it's so poisonous that one bite can kill you within an hour. Legend goes that a fisherman arrived at this island in search of bananas, but was found days later in his boat, dead in a pool of his own blood. Then from 1909 to the 1920s, a family lived on the island to run the lighthouse. But according to another legend, the entire family was found dead after a group of snakes came into their home and attacked them. So yeah, any takers on this island? And that's all for today's video. Let's move on to our comment shout out portion.
We're gonna be shouting out.
Alright. You let me know, would you buy any of these islands? That's a big no for me. Well, yeah, no. Because I don't fly. But until the next one, like, share, subscribe, comment. We'll talk to you later.